I'm Anna Zubkovskaya. I'm an English teacher. I work in Russia, not far from Moscow. It is a central part. I have been the winner of Microsoft Teachers. I have presented my country in France. I try to use innovative technologies to make my students to be successful. And I work at college, not at school, but I had an experience of working at school too. Hello, nice to meet you. What's your name?
Thank you, ma'am. My name is Nandakishore, a ninth
Nice
grade
to meet.
student. A ninth
Nice
grade
to meet you.
student.
Mhm.
Thank you, ma'am. My name is Nandakishore, a ninth grade student from JPHS Selvaram. Here my question is, what schools are popular in Russia, public or private? What is the age of retirement for teachers there?
Okay, as to answer to this question, I have to say that most schools are public, governmental. It is more than 85%. And only 10 schools are uh, commercial, and other 5% they are international, and we have another form later from private schools, but for governmental use for international students. That's why most popular are governmental public schools. And as about retiring age, our teachers have to work not less than 25 years, it is at school, and at the age of 55, they can be retired. But I work at college and I have to work up to 60 years.
Okay, Anna, is there any difference between the men and women when it comes to the retirement? I
Yeah,
heard that
of
some
course,
European
of course. We have a 5 years difference. As about women, we are retired at the age of 60, and as about men, they are at the age of 65.
Mhm. Okay, you have just told us that 55 is the retirement age.
55, it is only for schools, for kindergartens, when they work with the children under the age of 18.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And I work at college, we have different um, uh, levels of students, and half of them are under 18 years, and a half they are adults. That's why we have to be retired as usual workers, people in our country.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, ma'am. My name is Gayatri Salvi. I'm studying 7th grade. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Yeah, for sure.
How innovatively do you teach English to your students?
I try to be rather innovative because you understand that you are students and you need something interesting and new. As about my students, they like gamification. That's why I try to use different platforms, um, such as quizzes, challenges. Not long ago it was Kahoot, but now it is not available. And this platform makes learning fun while reinforcing vocabulary and grammar. Also, I like flipped classroom model, where I assign video lessons or reading materials for homework and class time, and it's used for interactive discussions and collaborative tasks. And of course, I like to involve my students into the different projects.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I am fine, thanks. What about you?
I am fine, ma'am. Thank you. My name is Nitvika. I am an 8th grader from GBHS School, Ilavaram. I am so lucky to interact with you, ma'am. Can I ask you one question?
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad to meet you.
How are public school teachers in Russia recruited? What qualities and qualifications are needed to qualify in their tests?
Okay, first of all, we can start working at schools and colleges and universities when we have high education. Or we have some restriction. For example, the students may be studying and can start his or her work at school. And every 5 years, we have to pass exams or different webinars, courses to prove that we have got necessary qualifications. As for me, I have already passed such procedures for 5 years, and in 2 years I will again do it. We have teacher training and practices, theoretical courses, practical teaching experience. We have to pass certification and attestation. And we have 3 categories. The first category, it is for experienced teachers with proved effectiveness, and high category for master's teachers who lead other and innovative in leading methods. As for me, I have already got the highest category.
Thank you,
How are
ma'am.
you?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks. What about you?
I'm also fine, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. My name is
How is
Mamata.
Mhm.
My
Nice to
name
meet you. Mhm. How is
nice
the
to meet
weather
you
in
too, ma'am.
India? How is the weather in India?
It is so hot, ma'am.
Thank you. Here it is only 5 degrees above zero.
I'd like to ask you a question, ma'am. Can I ask?
Yeah, for sure.
Here, my question is: what are the common challenges students in Russia face while learning English?
I think we have the similar problems as for any student for whom English, okay. Many students have limited opportunities to hear or use English outside the classroom. That's why it's a problem to develop English, especially if they would like to try to communicate and to check the level. Also, of course, grammar differences. So, for example, in Russian language, we don't have articles. That's why my students have a lot of questions connected to this. Also, for example, in Russian language, we have only 3 tenses. And as you know, in English, we have more. And it is connected to other grammar structures. Sometimes we have problems with pronunciation because we don't have some sounds which are particular to English one. Also, my students have the fear of speaking and lack of confidence. They are not sure that they can talk and they can be understood. Then maybe motivation. If they do not have opportunities to talk with native speakers, that's why they do not want to go further because they really don't know why they study English, how it will be necessary to them. But as for me, I am a little bit luckier because I work with IT students, and 70% of them know that English is needed. And of course, we have cultural misunderstanding. Understanding slang, sarcasm, or jokes, it's maybe a problem too. I think these are the most challenges that we have during studying English.
Ma'am,
Hello, nice to meet you.
I am Husni. Nice to meet you, ma'am. I am Husnia. I am an 8th grader. Glad to meet you, ma'am. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, for sure.
What kind of technology do you use to teach English?
I try to use technologies which help me to make my students to be motivated and to help them to overcome challenges that they can meet during studying English. First of all, a lot of platforms. I try to make my students to communicate with students from all over the world. And of course, I try to use up-to-date information. We read newspapers, we try to watch videos, and to be in touch with the whole world. I think it is the best technology.
So it looks like you are living in an apartment, I think.
Yes, it's an apartment. Usual.
Yes. So what time is it now over there?
It is nearly 9 a.m.
Mhm. So it is almost 17 minutes, 11 o'clock here.
I see. If not mistaken, we have 3 hours difference, maybe, or something
Yeah.
like this.
Yes, something like that. Yeah. So yes, I have two questions left before we wind up this session. Could
Okay.
you please share the food that mostly the typical food that Russians love to eat morning and afternoon and evening?
I think it is typical for European countries because in the morning we don't have rather full meals. It's maybe just bread with something like cheese or maybe porridge. Some people prefer even drink only tea or coffee. As about lunch or dinner, we have rather complex. People prefer to eat soups, maybe a different kind of meat. It may be potato, it may be rice or macaroni. It depends on taste. And in the evening, as a rule, people prefer to eat salads, again with meat or fish, juices, tea, coffee. I think now it's typical for most countries.
Yes, yes, you are right. So here is my last question. What is weather like in Moscow? I know that Russia is a biggest country. It's the
It
longest
is the
country.
largest country in the world
Longest
according to
country. It is having a different time zones. So it is almost difficult for anyone to understand the Russian time zones. Could you please briefly tell us the different time zones that you have?
Of course, my country is not only the largest according to the territory, but it is a unique country according to the time zones. We have 11 time zones. So in one place it's maybe nighttime, in another place it is the daytime. That's why it's rather difficult to travel. For example, from Moscow to India, I need to fly only 7 hours. And if I would like to go to Yakutsk, I will spend much more time. That's why sometimes it's easier to go to Europe than to travel to any parts of my country. Last year, I traveled to the southern part of my country. It is not the longest route, but I spent more than 30 hours going by train.
Okay.
As I live in the central part, the climate is rather changeable. In winter, the minimum temperature is possible to be nearly 30 degrees below zero. And as about summertime, the normal temperatures are 25 degrees above zero. But if we talk about Yakutsk, it is the northern part of our country, the temperatures are possible to be nearly 77 degrees below zero in winter. I can't understand how they can live there. For me, it's a problem. Even 25, 30 degrees below zero, it's a problem. But they survive. So we have different cultures, we have different ways of living, different temperatures, different time zones, and of course, we have a lot of religions.
Yes, thank you so much. And before we wind up this session, may I request you to introduce three Russian words to my students? How do you wish the people in Russian language good morning or good afternoon or good evening or maybe how are you?
Mhm. Okay, when my students would like to, how to say, When they meet each other in the morning or in the daytime, they say привет.
Привет.
Привет. It is the
Привет.
same as hi. Hi, привет.
Привет.
Parents for their, for example, friends. And for the teachers, they say good morning, but in Russian it's rather difficult. Доброе утро.
Доброе утро.
Yes.
Доброе утро.
Yes, it is good morning. That's why привет is much easier to
Привет.
pronounce.
Yeah, it is
Yes.
easy to pronounce. Привет. Доброе утро.
Yes. When they would like, for example, to wish a good day, they say хорошего дня.
Хорошего дня.
Yeah,
Хорошего дня.
хорошего дня. Yes.
Хорошего дня. Yeah.
Yeah. If they would like to say bye, they say easy one in Russian пока.
Пока. Very easy.
Yes,
Bye.
yes.
Пока. Пока.
Yes, yes. These are the easiest words.
Yes.
But the most people know that Russian language is rather complex and rather difficult. And
Yes.
when my students say why Russian language is not the international one, I always say, do you want to suffer all the world studying this rather difficult language?
Yes, thank you so much, Anna, for your time, and we thoroughly enjoyed this session. You have taught us a few interesting words of Russian language. Please give a message to my students before we end the session.
Yes, first of all, I all the time say, our students are the future of the world. And first of all, you have to understand that only in peace and in clear world, everything can be fulfilled. So try to think about our planet and try to live without the wars.
Thank you so much, and have a great day. We will see you soon.
Thank
Namaste.
you. Namaste. Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you soon.
See you.
Пока. Пока.
Пока.